guys, what is going on? Red Match here, and welcome back to something a little bit different in Cards and Castles, where today we are going to be showcasing a known combo. Now, I do get a lot of, I wouldn't say flack, but I do get, poked at a lot of times for my hidden combo series that my combos that I show off are not really hidden. And I am aware that some of them might, already be out there and existing, so they're not really too hidden. But today, I think for the deck that we're showcasing, this kind of has to be put out there as a known combo because you can't really hide the fact that this is going to be a straight up Awakening deck. I mentioned before the patch came out that I did want to play with an Awakened deck post patch. I did make one, I think, 2 days ago, so I want to actually showcase it now in a video. So with that being said, let's jump into our first known combo here on the channel and take a look at an Awakening deck. Now, as of now, this deck doesn't really have a fancy name, so I'm kind of just going with, the flat-out Awakening deck, per se. But we're going to take a look at what it entails, because there are some things that, standard Awakened decks may not typically have. So, what is this deck about? Of course, utilizing the new Sleeping Dojo draw engine for Awakening decks, where one of your units awakens, you can draw a card. Now, this is sort of reminiscent of Mystic Dojo. In which case you place a trap down, you get a card. But this one is a bit more controlled, though, than the Mystic Dojo, because, there's no price reduction on other cards, and you can't immediately reawaken units, excuse me. So that does sort of put some sort of limit on Sleeping Dojo that Mystic Dojo didn't have. So, other than that, a lot of Awakening elements in this deck. Obviously, Headwood, Golem, Imp, and Ronin to name, I think, really the main components, and then of course Saurus and Rite of Awakening for reawakening tools, so even more awakening aspects. In terms of awakening in general, especially in the purple and red, there are a lot of other options too. I could have gone with Dire Badger, Stalker, Swords, Mage Apprentice, Soldier, Meditation even, and I've seen a lot of these cards used here and there. But I think the ones I have here are decent enough, especially when you're considering all the other cards I've thrown in to reinforce this deck that much further. Now, what I use isn't the be-all and end-all. Of course, you can obviously make some swaps here and there in Awakening. Pegacorn for Dire Badger for, just one example. Barbarian for Dancing Swords. If you want more Awakening elements in your deck, I kind of went with a few of them as right now just to see how the deck runs. But let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the other aspects of the deck in this, what I call my standard Awakening deck. So, of course, we do have some of our standard burn stuff in here. Defected Flame Cannon, Blue Fire Bolt. I wasn't really a big fan of Flame Storm, so I never really bothered with that sort of card change. So, as far as I know, my burns were kind of untouched in this patch. So I still run both of them, 2 and 3 respectively. As you can see on your screen there, 2 Flame Cannon and 3 Bolt. We have Lumberjack for draw, which is kind of the backup draw in this deck. You're going to really go with Sleeping Dojo as your main source of draw. Then you've got cards like Lunging Attack, which I find is, pretty useful, especially when I'm running Swordsman in the deck. Another, an extra movement doesn't really hurt, especially when you pair it with cards like Ronin, Swordsman, Shodan, whatever the case may be. Lunging Attack I find is useful, but that is one of our more experimental cards in the deck. Rite of Awakening I kind of already explained. Guard, because it's still a general good stuff unit. Imp, I've already explained. Dojo, I've already explained. Blacksmith and Armory, of course, cards I can't really live in any deck without. As of now, stats are still, again, super, super important. So Blacksmith and Armory go into each, though. Not really maxing out either one, because the Awakening is what, the main aspect of this deck rather than stat buffing. Then we go into Barbarian, who, again, a general good stuff unit like Sun City Guards. Flux, some experiments with my forward drops, right, to be honest. I could easily throw in a Dancing Swords or Gravestalker where Flux is, but I feel like Flux is too good of a card to pass up right now, and especially when you use code CRASHLANDS on Steam. It was recently discovered that that code still works, so if you do need more copies of Flux, type in CRASHLANDS for 3 free copies of Flux, or you could also use those for extra shards. 600, I think, is what you're going to get if you already have 3 Fluxes in your possession. Anyway, moving on from the cheap code plug. Ronin, kind of, again, another main element of Awakening in our deck here. Saurus, I explained Reawakening. Pegacorn, did I forget to mention? No, he was already in there. Golem is another Awakening tool. Pegacorn, again, a unit that I kind of want to incorporate more of. Rainbow Shield is still super valuable in a world where, Warlock is, pretty much one of the top tier decks running around, and the fact that they just throw out burns here and there. And, you know, he's decently statted at a 5-5, not the easiest thing to get around. Headwood and Golem I've already explained. Dragonfire, so again, sort of like Blue Fire, just my, you know, overall late game burn if I really need it. Stops any Swarm decks that still might be running around. Shodan, another Awakening tool, and one of our more late game bosses. You will get an explosive buff with Shodan, so I think the 4-8 did make him useful though, so I do want to use him more. I think he's a great fit for this deck. And then 2 Swordsmen, because I do like using Ninja Swordsman shenanigans in sort of like, you know, in nearly all of my ninja decks. So having 2 of him plus the lunging attacks don't really hurt. And hell, you know, Blacksmith and Armory do even more for him. So that's why he's in there. So with that being said, that's pretty much the quick, you know, recap of the Standard Awakening deck. Let's go ahead and see how this does though in actual combat. Alright, so here we go with our opening match. Shodan, Saurus, and Headwood aren't looking too strong. I'm going to keep these Headwood just as a prospect, you know, like, oh, maybe I can use him in the later stages of my match. But we'll see what happens. So, Salaha Rider from Oma B. That's fair. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Lumberjack to counteract that. We can take that right up front. And we'll get draw from it too, just like we will be getting draw from Sleeping Dojo, which we can throw out next turn. That is depending on what he throws out. I don't think we're going to be able to throw out anything else other than the Dojo, but we'll see. Yeah, Blacksmith. I think he follow up? It's a real question. Nope, can't follow up. So that's a perfect opportunity for us to on our Dojo. Just to incorporate some, you know, we're going to soon get some draw thanks to cards like Mischievous Imp and Ronin and Headwood. So, all good things in our opening stages of our match here. Blacksmith, alright. Blacksmith's not going to be able to do a whole lot to us, so we're going to throw ahead and summon out a Mischievous Imp. Get him on the board right and ready for anything that might come our way. And almost running a Druid Ninja, so... not sure how that can help. Okay, Horseman actually. Oh, Horseman hits the target that he needs to. Well, that's a good way to take away someone's fun. Burn my draw, why don't you? Okay. Alright, so there's no point in holding on to the Imp. So let's go ahead and summon out Ronin. I mean, obviously, we can always reawaken, but I think it's better just to take the trade now. And then get him worried about our Ronin, because Ronin's a big target to worry about. First Strike is a devastating ability, if used correctly. So cards like Armory and Blacksmith tremendously help it. And his Awakening of gaining more attack just goes to show that, you know, he's a good fit for this deck. I was originally considering placing in Dire Badger. Then I was thinking there might be too many 5-drops in this deck. As you saw, we were running cards like Headwood, Saurus, Golem, and Pegacorn, so I think Badger is just a little bit much. Oh, okay. Sume. Well, I have my lunging attack right about now. Alright, so I think in response to Sume coming out, we're going to hold back a bit, because that Sume is going to be annoying to deal with. So hopefully Headwood can spark up correctly. I'm hoping that Oma, you know, might place his units a bit too close to one another, so that way Headwood's Awakening can really finish the job here. But I do want, like, more Awakening out of my deck. Right now we've only seen Mischievous Imp and Ronin plus Headwood. The Dojo being wiped away, that Horseman was a big play for him, so we'll take what we can get. Okay, he is worried about, oh, that's a mistake. Oh, alright, beautiful. So we can just armor up. Do that. Hell, we'll even place out some precautionary measures as well. Just increase his attack further, so that way the First Strike is more devastating. Right now, this is our biggest unit that we've got for us in this game. So I'm hoping he can take us all the way here. I really wanted that Sleeping Dojo to survive, though. What can you do? What can you do, though? So, Oma, do you have anything else for us today? Anything at all? Anything useful? Yes, no, maybe so. Because I think next turn we could reinforce our presence even further with Barbarian for sure. Considering Swordsman, but we'll see. Oh, Centaur. Alright, so that would have been a good bounce trick. Oh, plus the Mana Core. Alright. See, we're getting a bit sneaky on me, huh? Alright. Someone just sneezed in the background. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to hit the Mana Core with via... What do we call it? Via Ronin damage to castle. Takes out the Mana Core, so that way his Centaur isn't as protected. Obviously, I could have burned it as well, but right now, 7-5 in the Warlock, or not in the Druid Ninja, there's not going to probably be a whole lot he can do to buff this guy to really take out my Ronin, so I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to prepare next turn to probably move Swordsman on face. So this game is probably pretty much over. I do want to kind of see it through, though, to see what this guy's got for us, because, you know, Druid is an interesting... Oh, Centaur's coming up. Can there be another companion? I probably should have expected very other companions. So that this is an interesting play he's making. I probably could lose some armories, and then losing the armories thereby causes Ronin to decrease in attack. So it's actually a smart move from him, taking advantage of me not thinking that Centaur could actually do some work when he does have companions. So good thinking on his part. The question is, will he be able to capitalize on it though? I see Pack of Wolves. Pack of Wolves is not... Okay, so he's kind of just rushing me at this point. Because he's got, no other alternative here. Alright, that was a big mistake. Yep, you go up to 4-5. I think it's better if I just take that out myself. Yeah. And I do want to keep the Headwood where he is, just again in case I can get a Reawakening. Because that's always important. With Awakening decks, you do have to think about Reawakening units, especially in the Warlock if you're playing a Warlock variation. Rite of Awakening and Stars are big, useful cards for them, for Awakening deck. So do take advantage of those cards, because they are going to, really amplify your Awakening presence on the board. So I do see another Shume plus a or Spiny, excuse me. Spiny, I don't know if that's the right choice, but he's going to go for it anyway. Is Shume going to move up, down, up and around? Because right now I can do a lot of damage. I can do 14. Okay, yep. So he does move it away. Good on him. Unfortunately, I'm not going to let that live. Alright. So there we go. So I think this game's got to be over at this point. There's nothing my opponent can probably do at this point. I do, I might do another match. I'm going to see how things turn out. Because I did want to show off the Sleeping Dojo. Unfortunately, just got burned. Okay, there's a surrender. So we weren't able to do much. So we'll see. We'll see if I can probably do maybe one more. Yeah, we'll do one more. Alright, so match number 2. I don't want these guys in my hand, that's for sure. Lumberjack, Rite of Awakening, Armory. Alright, not our strongest hand. Okay, make that Armory part 2. Yeah, not the strongest opening, but hopefully we can make this work. I don't have any units for this. Armory is going to be used as that actual unit, so hopefully these next draws can really help us out. Lumber for lumber, I'll make the trade, especially because I need the draw. You can also, yeah, let's say, ending turn is a viable option. Okay, Blacksmith, so I can't capitalize on anything, so that's going to hurt us a bit. Gives him the opportunity to throw out something at us. It's going to be Questing Knight. Alright. Questing Knight isn't a bad card. It certainly is not. I think... I don't know. Questing Knight or Dwarven Miner is also a difficult choice. I guess it's dependent on the deck that you're running. Okay, Trap. Yikes, at this point... At this point, I think I kind of just have to go for it, right? This could easily be a... Yeah, I'm just gonna activate it. Alright, not what I was hoping it would be, but whatever. It was a gamble, and I gambled with Big Oof there. Again, I still don't like Aijitsu as a card, but we kind of just have to go with it. He's gonna take out my armory, seeing as how it's an open target. Okay, more traps, you cunt. Alright. Alright, I got one for you, bitch. Let's do this. There we go. Alright. I'm surprised traps are still actually active in this meta, but I guess anything's possible. The trap is, you know, I think... Damn, what can you use that's gonna hurt? Okay, guard. Don't tell me you're gonna buff with Lightning Blade. I was about to say. I don't think that would be the smartest of choices. Okay, this could be actually a good turnaround in our matchup. Because I can reactivate Headwood twice. And that should be able to burn a lot of the things on the board, but let's see what hits. Okay, you know what we can do? Please be an Aijitsu. Okay, it's Secret Dragon. Not what I was expecting, but I'll take it. Okay. Okay. That's fair. We'll take out the Flux. And we'll throw out the Imp. So he does have the hand advantage on us now, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. We did what we needed to do overall. Okay, there's an Eater. And then here comes the power-ups probably. Oh, he's going to Flash Grenade us. And then probably resummon the guards because they're 2 gold. Let's see. You can summon them, right? Oh, he's gonna... What is he doing? Okay. Oh, this is good. Sleeping Dojo Headmaster. This is what the deck's all about. Then we get 2 additional cards. That's beautiful right there. Alright, I'll take that any day. Alright. I didn't expect them to surrender, but alright. I guess that's win number 2 for the deck. I know that was a bit of an odd... That was a really odd one, but I did get what I wanted to show you guys. I did get that out. The Dojo and the Reawakening. The burns, and then, more cards to your hand. That's what the deck is all about. So I think that was a pretty good demonstration. Even though he kind of prematurely surrendered, was still a great match to show you guys what the Awakening aspects of the deck really are about. With that being said, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Known Combos. If you guys want to see more known combos, do hit me up in the comment section below what other decks you'd like me to cover that were, aren't so exactly hidden. And don't worry, hidden combos aren't really gone forever. I just decided I can't really name this video Hidden Combos because Awakening's not a hidden combo. It's right there in front of you. So, with that being said, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, like, share, and comment your thoughts down below. If you want to see more known combos, or if you want to see other sort of decks in this new patch era of Cards and Castles. And while you're down there, if you haven't already done so, be sure to click that subscribe button. Help show your support the channel, help us grow. All by clicking that subscribe button at no additional cost to you. That being said, guys, until next time, stay gaming.